Wolves against Arsenal suggests there might not be too many goals the way that Wolves defend and at times the way Arsenal attack. Does 8-1 on a 0-0 attract your interest, Craig Burley, if you were putting 50 pence or 50 cents on?
To win what? What I'm only winning. I'm winning $4.
Eight times your cash. What do you think? No.
Well, yeah, no, I don't think so.
Okay, good.
No, I hope not. But I was worried for Bruno Lage at the start of the season coming in. They had a really slow start, and I thought, oh, he could be one of the first to go here. This could be a quick turnaround, but he has turned it around quickly. I mean, I was looking last night actually when we were just finishing the FC show that they are not to be ruled out for potentially putting a run on Arsenal and squeezing towards that top four. They're really solid. They play some nice football. There's good patterns they play, and they're a goal threat. Now, they haven't got a bundle, to your point, a bundle of goals in them. And every time I watch Jimenez up front, and I know I watch him with that headguard on, and I'm not doubting him whatsoever, not for a minute, what that guy had to go through. However, when I see balls coming in the box, I can't help but think, Mark, subconsciously, he's not attacking it with the same aggression he once was. There has to be a doubt in his mind at times. Now, that's not to take away from the rest of his game. But certainly when you've had such a horrendous head injury that he's had, as a player and as an individual, it has to be in your thinking when you're going in, particularly as a striker that has to sometimes put his foot in his head in where it hurts, as they say. And that can be a problem. So they've got to overcome that hurdle. That's one of them. But they're a good side. And as you said, defensively, they're very good as well. Arsenal, again, slow start to the season. I like the changes that he's made. They went from an absolute shambles to at least looking at times pretty solid. Gabriel and Ben White, when Gabriel's not making stupid decisions in terms of his discipline, when Xhaka's not making stupid decisions with his discipline, that hurts them. Tomiyasu defensively has given them a bit more aggression, and of course Kieran Tierney on the other side, and the youngsters up front, whether it be Smith Rowe, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, have all been playing well at good times and together, and Lacazette's come in to fill a void sometimes left by Aubameyang when he wasn't playing on the left-hand side. And I think the key here is getting Aubameyang out. Aubameyang was a bad apple. You can talk about his performances. People think Aubameyang in Barcelona, he was dropped from Arsenal because of his discipline. Yeah, he was, but if you look back, he was dropped before the discipline problems, and he was dropped for others because he wasn't playing well. He just wasn't playing well, and really hasn't since he got, guess what, that bumper contract. So he's out the dressing room. I think that takes away that problem. And all these youngsters now are looking at, not really bad professionals, but they're looking at each other and one or two experienced players. And I think it's a much better camp for that. And, they're in a much better place. It's such a tight fight for top four. I haven't got a hope in hell in guessing who's going to get it. But I do know both these teams are in with a shout. And so that makes this a pretty big game.
Because Wolves with a win can go above Arsenal, and they've been really under the radar this season. And it just shows you, with Arsenal, you mentioned their start, you mentioned correctly Wolves' start as well. Yeah. How do we get more patience into football and into football fans? Because we've spoken before about Brendan Rodgers on ESPN FC, and he's under pressure, which is a nonsense right now. Is it to do with social media? Is it to do with podcasts? What's it to do with this lack of patience? Because there are fans that would have had Bruno Lage out. There are fans that would have had Mikel Arteta out. That's fine, but you've got to have a solution when you want a problem that needs to be solved.
Yeah, there's no doubt there's more pressure comes on managers because of all the platforms these days. Not only the managers, but the executives, the investors, and the owners at times will see this and read this. And this boils down to You know, in the good old days, you got a shellacking from the crowd at the game, and they dispersed afterwards, and then you got a shellacking the next game if it wasn't right. Now you get a shellacking 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and so it sort of never goes away. There's just a lot of pressure, and when you boil that down to the amount of money that's involved as well, then owners panic, and we see that quite a lot, and hence the reason we see a lot of managers coming and going, and a lot of bad decisions. A lot of bad decisions been made, and there's no consequence. The teams that make the most bad decisions struggle the most. But I don't think, obviously, these two managers have bought themselves quite a bit of time at the moment, particularly Bruno Lage, and I think Arteta's got a little bit of leeway currently. But you're right, Wolves can go above Arsenal. All these teams have got games in hand, and the likes of Man United. I think Tottenham have got 3 games in hand on Man United. So there's a lot of vulnerable teams from sort of 7th up to 3rd or 4th in terms of how many games they've played, what points they've got, and what kind of form they're in. If you're excited by who finishes 4th, and it might be the only thing to get excited about if City keep winning, then it's going to be a bun fight for that final Champions League spot.
Final question about Wolves against Arsenal. The Gunners are slight favourites with the bookies. Is that fair?
Life's not fair, Mark. So I don't know. You know, probably just. I would say probably just, but I wouldn't be surprised. I tell you what. Why don't we go for the draw? Who brought that up?
I'd take a 3-3 draw. I don't want a 0-0 unless you've got 50 cents or 50 cents on it. Wolves Arsenal on Thursday. Full coverage on ESPN FC.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.